Welcome to another edition of Readact TV. I'm Don Friedman, President of the RIA Digital Assets Council. Today we have Mark Yusko, CEO and CIO at Morgan Creek Capital Management, as well as founder of Morgan Creek Digital. Mark, welcome to the show.
Oh, great to be here. Thanks for having me.
So let's jump right into it. The first question we have is, you're a giant crypto bull and can give many reasons why people should buy. Tell us the risks you look for when deciding to invest in Bitcoin.
Yeah, look, one of the things about Bitcoin that is unique, right? It's a bearer asset, which means, whoever has ownership of it has ownership of it. It's not, you can't reclaim it if it's lost or stolen. So the biggest issue is custody, right? And make sure you're working with a reputable custodian or transfer agent. And those terms aren't exactly mapping from the TradFi world to the new world of decentralized finance. But if we think about those issues, there are today many options, right? There are big exchanges like Coinbase or Gemini that do a very good job managing that custody. There are other solutions that help advisors or individuals or anybody who want to own the asset. So I do think that's the biggest risk. Now, the other thing that people think of as risk that I really don't think of as risk is volatility. And the reason I say that is, if you think about volatility as a measure of risk, in fact, it's been said that Harry Markowitz, right, founder of CAPM, said, I really would have used semi-variance or downside volatility, but the math would have been too hard and I wouldn't have won the Nobel Prize. And I actually had dinner with Dr. Markowitz and asked him if that's true. And he said, of course it's true. I wanted the $1 million. And so it doesn't make sense to penalize an asset for upside volatility or positive deviation from a mean. So the fact that Bitcoin has high volatility, it also has very high returns. It's compounded over 200% for over a decade. And yes, it has high volatility, but that volatility is your friend. The real key is it has low correlation to the traditional assets in your portfolio. So it adds value from a risk reduction perspective, which is really quite interesting, and also a return enhancer.
Makes sense. Second question we have is, what do you say to an advisor who balks at the idea of investing in Bitcoin? And how do you convince him or her otherwise?
Yeah, it's such a great question and maybe the question. And look, I started this journey 8 years ago. A good friend of mine called me, said, come to San Francisco and have dinner. Told me he was shutting down his hedge fund, giving back $1 billion, which is a lot of money. And he was going to dedicate the rest of his career to cryptocurrency and blockchain infrastructure. And I started skeptical. And I think you should start skeptical of anything new. But what skepticism is it doesn't mean a permanent aversion. It means you have questions. And the way to answer those questions is to do the work and to dive in and really understand. And as I learned about what we were talking about, which is blockchain is simply a technological evolution of computing power. It's an operating system for the new internet of value. The same way that DOS was an operating system for personal computers, or iOS or Android or operating system for the mobile net. And going forward, this idea of value over internet protocol or money over internet protocol is the future, right? There's no chance that's going back in time. We're moving from analog paper money to electronic ones and zeros in a bank account to true digital money in the future. So that's the first part is really just do the work, understand it. Lots of resources out there to really understand what we're talking about. Then it becomes less scary. The second piece is this whole campaign that we've been on of #GetOffZero. 5 years from now, maybe 3, but we will look back. And I believe it will be fiduciarily derelict to not have exposure to digital assets. So as an investment advisor, you must, come into this realm and have some of this in your portfolio. And I'm not saying all of your assets, right? The nice thing about Bitcoin in particular is the asymmetry. You only need 1, 3, 5% to add a tremendous value to a portfolio. Again, both from a risk reduction through low correlation and return enhancement through better long-term returns. So it's that combination of become educated, right? Just spend time with me learning about it. And I've done a number of presentations. I did one on why blockchain's big, one on crypto capitalism, one on get off zero. You can go to my YouTube channel and just type in my name into YouTube and you can find those presentations. But education is part of it. And the second is this idea that as a fiduciary, it's our job as advisors to help our clients have portfolios that are optimally structured and engineered. And I think Bitcoin and other digital assets will play a role going forward.
Mark, always great to hear your thoughts, and thanks for being our guest on React TV.
Thanks for having me. Great to be with you.